Welcome to another episode of the Boss Experience podcast. My name is Michele Davis, and I'm your host. And I want to say thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Boss Experience podcast. And in this episode, we're talking about how to plan out your business in 45 minutes or less. So I know what you may be thinking. Why do I need a business plan? I've heard I don't need a business plan for my online business. I heard that business planning is for brick and mortar. I've heard that if my business plan isn't 40 pages or more, it's not effective. And that's just not true. So I'm going to share with you in this episode how to really map out your business. So the first thing I want to do is dispel the myth that you don't need a business plan. The reality is, if you don't have a business plan, you're setting yourself up to crash and burn. And the reason I say that is, how can you determine what your vision is and where you're going if you haven't taken the time to plan that out? And what ends up happening, what I see with a lot of entrepreneurs, some of the ones that I've worked with where they've fallen flat on their face and now they're trying to get back on track. And so they've hired me to help them do that. What I've seen is people go head first, and I did this too when I first started out. They go head first into a business idea and they don't plan it out. Even if you hear about the business idea online from what you have determined is a reputable source, you need to map out that business plan, because what ends up happening is there's things that happen in your business that you didn't anticipate, things that you didn't plan for. And that biggest thing is expenses, because you have a lot of people that will tell you, oh, you don't need money to start a business. You don't know if that's true for the business that you're starting if you've never sat down and determined that for yourself. So you definitely want to have a business plan. I'm going to share with you in this episode how you can do that in 45 minutes or less. Doesn't mean you don't have to do any work after that to follow up, but you at least have a basic framework for your business plan within that 45-minute period. With that being said, let's get started. The first question I want to answer is, what is a business plan? And a business plan is your roadmap. I mentioned that before. It's your roadmap, your blueprint, your crystal ball, however you want to term, whichever term you like. And it maps out where you're going. So you're here, point A, and you need to go to point Z with your business. If you're looking to have a long-term, sustainable, profitable online business, then you need to be at Z. So your business plan it's not a perfect tool, but it can help you kind of see where you're going. And I like this tool that I'm about to share the details in a moment, how to actually create one for yourself. I like this tool because no matter whether you're developing a business or a program, this is a great tool to use so you can map out everything that you need. So I wish I could take credit for the business planning model I'm about to share with you, but I can't. The original creator of the business model canvas, which is the model that I'm describing in this episode, was originally created by Alexander Osterwalder. So you could Google him. The thing is, you don't want things like creating a business plan to prevent you from getting started in mapping out your business. I make this one-page business plan available to my clients, and I also use it for myself with my own programs and my business. So every time I launch a program, I map everything out in this business plan so I can anticipate what costs are associated with the program that I'm implementing, what resources I need and so forth. So the elements of the business model canvas or the one-page business plan are key partnerships, key activities, key resources and value propositions, customer relationships, channels, customer segments, cost structure, and revenue streams. So let's break those down. The first thing I want to mention are key partnerships. So with key partnerships, when we think about our business, we like to think about it like linear in terms of we're the ones that are the driving force. With a lot of different business models, you may have partners that you want to have in your business journey whether those partners will help you market your business, whether those partners are a means for you to deliver your service. You need to identify who those partners are early on, because you want to be able to start making those connections and start building out those relationships. One of the things I talk about all the time, even with me starting my podcast, I enlisted the help of partners in the form of special guests coming into my podcast. It's a way not just for the special guests to gain additional exposure and to get access to another audience, but it's also a way for me to deliver additional value to my audience as well. And so partnerships, may also be a way that you deliver a particular service. Let's say you're creating this coaching program and there's an aspect of your coaching program that you don't have expertise in, but you want to partner with someone else to help you deliver that aspect of your coaching program. You can do that as well. I have a client, they have 30 plus years of experience in their industry, and they have trained, sales leaders, and within their company, they own a franchise, they've expanded to multiple locations, but there are things that they don't know. And they're going to bring in partners to help them deliver their coaching program that I help them create, right? And the purpose of those partners is to lessen the burden of delivering this 12-month program we created. So there's different reasons that you may want partnerships as a part of your business. The next section I want to talk about is key activities. So you want to think about what activities do you need to carry out in your business to make sure that you're focusing on those revenue earning activities, because there's activities that we could perform and get caught up performing that don't lead to revenue. You want to focus your energy on revenue producing activities. So to do that, you need to actually know what activities you need to perform in your business to make sure that happens. What are you doing on a daily basis, in relation to marketing? What are you doing on a daily basis in relation to sales? What are you measuring in your business to make sure that you're meeting your goal? So think about what activities you need to perform in your business to make sure you're focusing on revenue producing activities. The next section is key resources. And when I say resources, what do you have at your disposal right now that you can use as a resource for the business that you're launching or the program that you're implementing? And your resource doesn't have to be anything that you need to create new. It's like, what do you have right now at your disposal? So for example, if you have a coaching program and you're getting ready to launch your coaching program, maybe you are looking through content that you already created, posts that you've already made that you can package up and add as a bonus, make it an ebook to add as a bonus to your clients. Or maybe there's video recordings that you can give teaching, one specific thing that you can add as bonuses as well, or previous courses that you've made. Do you have financial resources that you could use? Do you have access to some membership or partnership or some association that can help you grow this business? So really sit down, think about what you have now that can be used as a resource to help you with your newly launching business or program. So the next section is your value proposition. And this is simply a clear statement about who you help, which is your target audience, what you help them do, which is the problem you help them solve, and how you help them. And this is the key to really attracting people to your business and allowing them to see that you are a potential resource for them to solve their problem. The next section is customer or client relationships. So as a professional service provider, you have clients. It's, clients and customers are the reason that you stay in business. They're how you earn your revenue in your business. You have to have a way of how and when you'll communicate with them. What does that relationship look like? So you have to map that out in here. And so, maybe you're communicating with them by email. How often are you communicating with them? How are you keeping them connected to you and your business? How are you making them interested in your business? And you have to remember with marketing, it's not just about getting your customer for the first time, but it's keeping them engaged with your business and services. And the mistake that a lot of people make is they want to instantly and only sell to people. And you really want to focus on building relationships with your customers and clients and understanding their needs and listening to what they say they need help with so that you can better serve them. And to do that, you actually need to communicate with them and talk to them. And you need a process to do that. The next section is channels. And so when you think about channels in today's world, particularly with an online professional service provider business, those channels are social media, their email, their SMS text, their YouTube. So you need to think about how can you strategically show up to make sure you deliver your value proposition that we just talked about in the last section to attract clients to you. So you don't need to be on all channels, but you need to have a strategic way to show up for the people that are looking for the services that you offer. Okay, the next section is your customer or client segment. So, as you attract people into your business, not everyone is going to become a buyer right away. So, you are going to market to those people a little bit differently than you would to, someone who's actually bought into your service. They already are in your stratosphere. They've already, kind of taken that leap to trust you and to trust you to solve their problem. Whereas someone who hasn't purchased from you yet, they may need a different type of marketing to bring them from having not having purchased from you yet to actually being one of your clients. So it's a different marketing process. It's a different way that you're going to communicate with the two different groups. So you definitely want to know who's who. And, you may not think this is an issue in the beginning, but you want to already have that planned out for what you're going to communicate to people on an ongoing basis to take them from not having purchased from you to being one of your clients or customers. The next section is cost structure. So the one thing, and me included, it is sticker shock. When I first started my business, I really didn't map out all of the tools that I needed, and I didn't even really understand what tools I needed to effectively operate my business. And so I relied on other people to tell me this instead of researching and really planning things out on my own. And I ended up spending a lot of money on things I didn't need to spend money on. And the end result was I had to come back to this business planning process and really map out what do I need to operate this business? What do I need for marketing? What do I need to, for customer communication? What are some basic things I need for branding? You need certain things to operate your business, and you need to know how much that costs because you don't want to have sticker shock like me because, when those things add up and you're really sitting down and you're really looking at, how much it costs to operate your business, you want to have an accurate reflection. The big mistake I made was I did not map out what I needed. And so I ended up with a lot of different things that I didn't need that I was paying for. And because I didn't map out what I needed, I didn't know that I didn't need that particular service, or I didn't know a more efficient or cost effective way as a new business owner to really have that service in place without paying the big costs that I ended up with. So you don't want to make that mistake. So map out everything that is required to operate your business and the anticipated costs so you can not decide to not start your business altogether. That's not the goal of this section. The goal of this section is for you, maybe if something's one price, maybe you can modify something else. And maybe instead of going for the gold package for the email software, maybe you start with the basic package. You don't need the gold package. So it's all about planning and really thinking about what you need and getting rid of or not falling into the trap of signing on for things you don't need. You definitely want to know the cost associated with operating the business that you want to operate. And then finally, there's revenue streams. When people think about revenue streams, they often throw around the term the multiple streams of income. People take that term and they think that they have to run off and, have all these different businesses. If you haven't worked hard to really get that one business model profitable and operating in the way you want it to operate, you really can't go off and establish all these other, businesses and expect to earn a profit. Because what ends up happening is you have 5, 6 things going on, and none of them are making you money, and none of those revenue streams are sustainable in any way, because you haven't taken the time that's needed to really get that revenue stream to the point where it's profitable. The missed opportunities that people make is not looking at their own business and maximizing, the revenue streams and the revenue potential within their one single business. So if you're starting a coaching business, you may have multiple programs, but you need to first get one program profitable first before you start branching off to all of these different programs within your business. So get one program profitable first, and then you can create additional programs. You can create affiliate offers. You can have other things that can earn you income all within your existing business. But everything starts with the concept of the one thing that you need to first get profitable and really build out in a way that's, for long-term sustainability. So that's it. That is the one-page business plan model. With that being said, I just want to emphasize the importance of mapping out your business and the importance of mapping out your programs. Obviously, this was the short version of what it means to map out a business plan. I go into much more detail, with my clients as we're doing this process. But, you want to begin to think of your business not just in the here and now, because it's hard to have vision if you don't have a way to map out, where you want to be, both in life and in your business. So you have to have a process for doing this, and you want to sit down, and this is something you can do in less than 45 minutes. Anyone that's thinking of starting a business, this is an absolute necessary step. So with that being said, that concludes this episode, and I'm so excited that you joined me today, and I look forward to you tuning in to a future episode of the Boss Experience podcast. Take care and be well.